Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back. It is Friday. We are off to a good start. I hadn't had to throw anyone out today. So, what I wanted to discuss was dealership technicians who work on new cars, right? So I'm sure the frontline technician is only working on Ford, Honda, Kia, Mercedes, whatever. And they're probably fairly newer cars, I would say. And then you have the used car recondition department that's working on the trade-in junk and whatever else is going on. And then you have the quick lane who's just changing oil and rotating tires with swollen lug nuts, seized wheels to hubs and all that stuff. But what I wanted to say is the guy who's not working on new cars, a guy like me, the work conditions, right? So the work conditions are the first car of the day smell like the owner has, or whoever's been driving the car has pissed their pants for the last 10 or 20 years in the vehicle. So that's pretty gross, right? Have to get in the car and just smell urine is disgusting. And the car is disgusting inside. And then you have to be very familiar with so many different systems, multi-manufacturers. So we work on just about everything, and I turn away the stuff that I don't want to work on. But that means we have to know where purge valves are on Mercedes, BMW, Jaguar, Lexus, Honda, Kia, blah, 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 blah. Charcoal canisters, wiring harnesses, so many different systems, right? And then so many different codes and possibilities. Like, so I'll just give you an EVAP code for a Chevy nowadays. In most cases, it would be, if it's not rusted out, a vent valve, right? But you have to know that by experience. And then another vehicle for an EVAP code, like a Kia or a Hyundai, with a large EVAP leak, doesn't mean that it has a bad gas cap. It could be a bad purge valve or a vent valve or, something else. So the guys that are working on all the different cars every day, in most cases, some of us are really genius, and we have to remember so much. Like, just like a doctor, the systems for humans are basically the same. It's not like they're growing different organs in humans nowadays that the doctors aren't aware of unless it's alien. So it's pretty standard for them to say, okay, that this should be this and this should be that, the kidney, this, the last hundreds of years of that human anatomy versus vehicle anatomy, right? I'm just going to do it like that. They have the same instrumentation for checking everything. We have multiple different things in our toolboxes for checking vehicles out. Where the cabin air filter is, where did they hide the body control module, where did they hide the crash control module. So kudos to the guys who are multi-manufacturer and not manufacturer specific, and the general public should just really be nicer. I'm just gonna say be nicer to your mechanic. Somebody said on my channel here last night, and this car smells so bad I gotta roll the windows down. This is my second smelly car today, and smells come from what? Bacteria. Isn't that wonderful? That you can't even talk to a mechanic unless you're throwing money at them. Can you talk to your doctor without throwing money at them? Probably not. As soon as you sign in, someone's paying you for you to sit there and wait an hour past your appointment time to talk to your doctor for 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, we're your car doctors, and treat us with the respect that we deserve. Our work conditions are not ideal. We're in smelly, disgusting vehicles. We're in cars that are leaking corrosive chemicals and gases and harmful toxins. We're in work conditions that aren't ideal. It's 230 degrees under a hood on a hot day. There's dangerous situations all the time. I just test drove a lady's car. The front end is legitimately falling out. You drive straight, and then the car changes 3 to 4 inches in the steering wheel and drifts to another lane. We're driving death traps every day. But yeah, someone keeps saying that it's all about money. Well, how are you paying your bills? With seashells? The only way that I know how to convert my skill into money is fixing cars right now, and plus what other revenue streams I have going on in my life. But yeah, it's about money. You think the migrants are here because there's no money? Look at the pot of gold for them. Welfare, food stamps, cash, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's all about the money. That's why I go to work, and I'm sure that's why all the viewers out here go to work. And if they're creating YouTube content or other content, social media content, that's work. But yeah, give your mechanic, not the guy who's necessarily working in a dealership who's working on brand new, fresh smelling cars, and he doesn't get dirty because those cars aren't dirty, and then your used car department technician, like Ford Boss Me now is in the used car department. He ain't working on clean cars, I'll tell you that. He's working on some skanky crap, and that's just the way that our business is. But yeah, when you say you can't even talk to a mechanic, well, for one, the mechanics have a job to do, and their job is based on production, right? So we get paid by the hour, so the more hours a mechanic puts in, the more he makes. No different than you. The more hours you put in, you would hope that your employer would pay you if you're not on salary. Well, most mechanics aren't on salary. So for you to walk up to the bay doors and stop them from working and ask for an oil change or a tire plug, or hey, I just have a question, or hey, do you have a second? No, they really don't, because they're getting paid to do a job, and the other person inside the office and service writers and intake people, that is their job to talk to you. So yeah, I mean, it's all about money. We can't do this for fun. Unlike the people in government who are doing this for fun and just pissing away our money, why the American people struggle every day. But yeah, your multi-manufacturer mechanic, non-new car, their work environment is less than ideal. I will tell you that. There's days that I just stand in the shop and there's sweat down into my shoes all day long. I come home, my clothes are soaked. In the winter, you're going outside, your feet are soaked, the floors are freezing, the bay doors are open and closing all day long. It doesn't matter if you have 70-degree heat. As soon as you open the door, it's cold again. Your fingers are cold. You're touching hot products. You're getting burned. You're getting cut. Every day, burns and cuts. Not including welding, right? So we weld here, and most dealerships don't weld. New car dealerships are not welding for the most part. And we're not welding on a table, right? So when someone says, wow, that's expensive, go to a welding shop where a guy is doing it for his side hustle or his main hustle, and ask them what they charge to do a simple weld. So when people come in here and say, oh, I just need a simple weld, how much is it? We're like, well, we don't know. We didn't look at it. And then it challenges your welding old crappy material to maybe some not so crappy material. And most of the time I don't even bother because it's so far gone. It takes a lot of skill for you to weld above your head, not on a table, with not clean materials, not in a controlled environment. So kudos to the guys out here that we do what we do. I mean, we have to know so many different vehicles, so many different systems, where the oil filter is, how many different vehicle oil resets and steering angles, sensor reset processes, and on and on. It just goes on and on and on. But kudos to the guys out here. Our work conditions aren't ideal. The customers in most cases aren't easy to deal with. The vehicles that are 10 and 20 years old that most dealerships just send right to the auction wind up in my bays and our bays, and things are seized, things are rusted out, things should be in the junkyard, and you got to try and make a job out of it with your skills and abilities. Thanks for watching.